Breaking news for every driver watching this video right now. If you're planning to get behind the wheel in January 2026, you need to know about 7 major driving law changes rolling out across the United States. These could cost you thousands of dollars if you're not prepared. Some changes are already in effect in certain states, quietly being enforced while most drivers have no idea they exist. By January, they're going nationwide or expanding rapidly. Whether you're a daily commuter, weekend road tripper, or occasional driver, these new rules will affect you directly. There's no escaping them. These laws apply to everyone with a driver's license. What I'm about to share could save you from expensive tickets, insurance hikes that last for years, and serious legal trouble. This isn't fear-mongering. This is real information that could literally save you thousands of dollars. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is where we break down laws and policy changes that impact your daily life and your wallet. We don't do clickbait. We give you real, actionable information that helps you stay informed and protected. Today, we're covering 7 driving law changes coming in January 2026 that every American driver needs to know about. These are significant policy shifts that will fundamentally change how you drive, how much you pay, and what happens if you break the rules. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We post updates like this regularly because knowledge is your best defense against surprise fees and penalties. All right, let's get into it. Rule 1. Hands-free cell phone laws are expanding. The biggest change that'll catch drivers off guard. Hands-free cell phone laws are expanding dramatically in January 2026, with significantly steeper penalties. You might think, isn't that already a law? In some states, yes. But here's what's changing. Over a dozen additional states are either introducing new distracted driving laws or strengthening existing ones. And penalties are getting much steeper. Previously, fines were relatively low, maybe $50 to $100 for a first offense. Starting January 2026, first-time offenses in states like Georgia, Ohio, and Pennsylvania jumped to $200, $500. Second offenses, $500, $1,000 in fines, plus points on your license that impact your insurance rates for years. In California, New York, and Washington, repeat offenders face mandatory driver education courses you pay for, community service, and even license suspension for 90 days. No driving means no work, no school runs, no errands. Your life gets disrupted. Here's the real sting. Insurance companies are watching closely. A distracted driving citation increases your premiums by 15–30% or more. That's an extra $500, $1,000 annually, sticking around for 3 to 5 years. One moment checking your phone could cost thousands over multiple years. What counts as a violation? Holding your phone while driving, even just holding it, is illegal, even at stoplights, even if your car's in park. If you're in the driver's seat with the engine on holding your phone, that's a violation. Texting, scrolling social media, checking GPS manually, holding your phone to your ear, all illegal. The only exception, hands-free devices like Bluetooth headsets, mounted phones with voice commands, or your car's built-in system. The phone must be mounted securely, not in your hand or lap. Real example, you're at a red light, your phone buzzes. You pick it up for 3 seconds to check a text from your boss. You don't respond or type. A police officer sees you. That's a ticket. No warnings, no exceptions. How to protect yourself. First, invest in a quality phone mount, $10, $30. Mount your phone before driving and leave it there. Second, use voice commands for everything. Navigation, calls, texts, music. Modern smartphones handle this well. Hey Siri, text my wife I'm on my way. Third, if you absolutely need to check something, pull over safely, put your car in park, then handle it. It might add minutes to your trip, but it's not worth the fine, insurance hike, or accident risk. Rule 2. Automated enforcement explosion. Speed cameras and red light cameras are being installed in hundreds of new locations nationwide, with higher fines and lower tolerance for violations. I know what you're thinking. Those cameras are just money grabs. There's debate about their effectiveness, but regardless of your opinion, they're here, expanding rapidly, and will catch you if you're not paying attention. Starting January 2026, cities and states like Illinois, Maryland, Arizona, Florida, and Texas are rolling out dozens or hundreds of new cameras. Washington, D.C., Chicago, Baltimore, and Phoenix are all expanding their systems. The trend is accelerating. Here's what's changed. Fines are significantly higher, and the tolerance threshold is much lower. Speed cameras used to trigger at 11 plus mph over the limit, giving you wiggle room. Now that threshold is dropping to 6 or even 5 mph over in some jurisdictions. Driving 41 mph in a 35 zone because you're following traffic, you're getting a ticket in the mail 2 weeks later. Red light cameras are stricter too. The half-second grace period after lights turn red is shrinking or being eliminated. If any part of your vehicle crosses the stop line after the light turns red, even by a fraction of a second, you're automatically photographed and fined. These systems don't care about context. They see a violation and send a ticket. Fines aren't small. Red light tickets range from $75 to $500 plus, depending on severity. Speed camera tickets start at $50, $75 but can reach $300 plusers for excessive speeding. Some jurisdictions have escalating penalties. Multiple tickets within a time period mean each subsequent one costs more. Here's the tricky part. These camera tickets are usually civil violations, not moving violations, so they typically don't add points to your license. But they can still impact your insurance rates if your provider finds out, which many now check for. Ignore the ticket? Big mistake. You face escalating late fees that double or triple the original fine, collections agencies, credit score damage, and in some states, suspended vehicle registration. How to protect yourself? Drive the speed limit. With cameras everywhere and zero tolerance, it's not worth speeding to save 2 to 3 minutes. Pay close attention to traffic signals. If a light turns yellow approaching an intersection, don't gun it through. Slow down and stop. Use GPS apps like Waze or Google Maps that alert you to known camera locations. It's not about breaking the law, it's about being more aware in high enforcement areas. Rule 3. Lower DUI limits and harsher penalties. Several states are lowering legal blood alcohol limits and dramatically increasing DUI penalties starting January 2026. This is a major crackdown that'll catch many off guard. Currently, most states have a 0.08% BAC limit, the standard for decades. Utah became the first state to drop to 0.05% BAC, and now others are following. States like Washington, Oregon, Colorado, and Hawaii are implementing or considering 0.05% limits in January 2026. This is a national trend. That might not sound like much, but it's massive. For most people, 0.05% BAC is roughly 1 to 2 drinks, depending on body weight, metabolism, food intake, and consumption speed. At 0.08%, you're talking 2 to 3 drinks or more. The margin of error just got smaller. What used to be, I had 2 beers over dinner, I'm probably fine, is now, I had 2 beers and could get a DUI. That's a huge shift. Penalties are getting harsher. First-time DUI offenses now result in $1,000, $2,500 fines. Mandatory alcohol education programs costing hundreds, 90-day to 1-year license suspension, and potentially jail time. Second and third offenses, felony charges, thousands in fines, years-long license revocation, mandatory ignition interlock devices, and significant jail time. But here's what destroys lives financially. The total cost goes way beyond the court fine. You've got court costs and administrative fees, hundreds to thousands, attorney fees, $3,000, $10,000 plus, massively increased insurance premiums, double or triple for 3 to 5 years, adding $2,000, $5,000 annually, ignition interlock device costs, $100, $150 installation plus $7,500 monthly maintenance, and potential income loss if you can't get to work. A single DUI conviction easily costs $15,000, $25,000 plus over a few years. For some, it's much higher. Real scenario. You have 2 glasses of wine over 2 hours at dinner with a full meal. You feel fine, not impaired at all. You get pulled over for a broken tail light. The officer smells alcohol and asks you to take a breathalyzer. You blow 0.06%. In a 0.08 state, you might be okay. In a 0.05 state, you just got a DUI. Your life changed dramatically. Your wallet's about to take a massive hit, all because you had 2 glasses of wine and felt fine. The advice is simple. If you've had anything to drink, don't drive. Period. Use Uber or Lyft. Call a friend. Take public transportation. Walk if it's close and safe. I don't care if it costs $30 for an Uber. It's infinitely cheaper, safer, and smarter than risking a DUI that costs $15,000 and haunts you for years. Rule 4. EV fees and stricter emission standards. Starting January 2026, several states are implementing new or increased registration fees for electric vehicles and tightening emission standards for gas-powered vehicles. EV owners don't pay gas taxes at the pump, which fund road maintenance and infrastructure. As EV adoption grows, that revenue shrinks. States like Texas, Ohio, Virginia, and Georgia now charge EV-specific annual registration fees of $100-200+ on top of normal registration costs. Some states are considering mileage-based fees regardless of vehicle type. This isn't necessarily unfair. Roads need maintenance funding. But if you bought an EV expecting only gas savings, this could surprise you at renewal time. On the flip side, some states offer new EV incentives, tax credits, charging equipment rebates, reduced registration for initial years, and HOV lane access when driving alone. For gas-powered vehicles, states like California, Colorado, New York, Massachusetts, and Oregon are implementing stricter emission standards. If your vehicle fails the new test, you'll need costly repairs, $300-600+, before renewing registration. Some urban areas are restricting older vehicles from certain zones or charging congestion fees. What to do? If you own an EV, budget now for new fees. If you drive an older gas vehicle, get emissions tested early so you have time to address issues without panic. Research your state's specific incentives, fees, and restrictions before buying a new car. Rule 5. Harsher street racing and reckless driving penalties. Street racing and reckless driving penalties are getting dramatically more serious in January 2026, and reckless is defined more broadly than you think. States like Florida, Nevada, Georgia, and California are implementing much harsher penalties. Thousands in fines, immediate vehicle impoundment, license loss, and felony charges for repeat offenders. In Florida, street racing or reckless driving means your vehicle gets impounded on the spot for up to 30 days. You pay towing, storage, and impound fees, hundreds to thousands, plus fines starting at $1,000 for first offense. Second offense, felony charge with potential months or years in jail. Georgia is also targeting spectators. Just watching a street race can get you fined or arrested. Nevada uses undercover operations, sting operations, and helicopter surveillance in high-activity areas. Here's the catch. Reckless driving is broadly defined. It includes excessive speeding, aggressive lane changes, tailgating, weaving through traffic, and sudden acceleration or braking. Driving aggressively because you're late or frustrated in traffic can get you charged. Scenario: you're late for a meeting. You start weaving through highway traffic, changing lanes without signaling, going 15-20 maps over the limit, cutting people off, tailgating. An officer sees this and pulls you over. Instead of a $150 speeding ticket, you get charged with reckless driving, a court appearance, $500-1,000 fine, license points risking suspension, and a massive insurance hike costing thousands over years. Takeaway: drive safely and calmly always. Don't speed excessively or drive aggressively. Stay away from street racing activity, even as a spectator. Rule 6. Stricter license renewal requirements. Driver license renewal requirements are getting stricter in several states starting January 2026. You might not renew as easily as before. States like Illinois, California, Florida, and Pennsylvania are requiring additional testing for renewal, particularly for older drivers. Vision tests, written knowledge tests, and sometimes road tests are now required for drivers over 70 or 75. Additionally, some states are tightening medical disclosure requirements. Conditions like diabetes, epilepsy, sleep apnea, or heart conditions may require doctor documentation certifying you can drive safely. Renewing might not be as simple as showing up and paying a fee. You might need appointments scheduled weeks ahead, tests you haven't taken in decades, or medical documentation. Failing tests could mean driver improvement courses, additional testing, license restrictions, or losing driving privileges. Advice: don't wait until the last minute. Check your state's requirements well in advance. Schedule early. If you have medical conditions requiring documentation, start gathering paperwork now. Rule 7. Higher parking and moving violation fines. Parking and moving violation fines are increasing across the board nationwide starting January 2026. Many cities haven't adjusted fines in years or decades. Now they're catching up all at once. A $25 parking ticket might now be $50, $75. A $100 speeding ticket might now be $150, $250 depending on speed. Major cities like New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, and San Francisco are leading increases, but smaller cities are following suit. Minor violations you shrugged off before will now cost significantly more. Expired meter? Hurts. No parking zone? Expensive. Rolling through a stop sign? Much costlier. Best approach: follow the rules. Pay attention to parking restrictions and time limits. Don't assume violations won't catch up. With increased camera enforcement and digital tracking, unpaid tickets accumulate quickly and lead to boots, towing, or suspended registration. What you need to do right now. We've covered 7 major driving law changes coming January 2026. Here's what to do to protect yourself. First, stay informed about your state's specific laws. Check your DMV website regularly. Sign up for email alerts. Don't assume what applies in one state applies everywhere. Second, adjust your driving habits now. Put your phone down completely. Drive the speed limit. Pay attention to signals. If you drink, don't drive at all. Third, budget for potential new costs. EV owners expect higher registration fees. Older gas car owners prepare for emissions testing and repairs. Fourth, invest in the right tools. Get a phone mount. Get a Bluetooth headset. Use GPS apps that alert you to camera locations. Small investments save hundreds or thousands in fines and insurance hikes. Finally, take this seriously. These laws are being enforced. They're expanding. Penalties are real and harsh. Don't learn the hard way. The financial and personal consequences are too severe. If this helped you understand what's coming and how to protect yourself, hit that subscribe button now. We post updates like this all the time because most people don't find out about law changes until it's too late, until they're holding a ticket or dealing with a suspended license. By subscribing, you stay ahead of changes that could cost you serious money, time, and legal trouble. We keep you informed and protected so you make smart decisions before problems arise. Drop a comment below and tell me which rule surprised or concerned you most. I read every comment and want to know what's on your mind and what topics to cover next. If you found this valuable, share it with friends and family. Everyone who drives needs to know about these changes. This isn't just about avoiding tickets. It's about staying safe, informed, and smart on the road. Knowledge is power.